Welcome to Bedrock Bookkeepers Online Academy for another awesome segment. My name is Joe DiChara, again inviting you to our site bedrockbookkeeping.com. We are constantly updating our content, our videos, our courses, all for you, the student that wants to learn about bookkeeping and the business of bookkeeping. Again, that's bedrockbookkeeping.com, and we welcome your feedback and suggestions, anything that can help us improve your experience with us. Enjoy the next segment. Thank you. Chapter 7, Control and the Privacy Issue. Now this is going to be a relatively short chapter, but I had to throw this in there for the sole purpose of pointing out that this is one of the chief instigators of stopping people from becoming successful. It's one of the chief reasons, in my experience, that I've seen that stops individuals from actually growing and prospering. When we start a small business, the idea is not for us to be in control of all the little details. Dr. Stephen Covey wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it was one of those books that started changing my perception of my life and my business. And it was one statement that he made, which was called being in the thick of thin things. And nobody's in the thick of thin things more than accountants and bookkeepers. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you're definitely stuck in the thick of thin things when you first start out. Because let's face it, you start a business, you don't know what you're supposed to do, there's a million things and they're all a top priority. And then slowly but surely things start falling into place. And one of the things that never seemed to fall into place is the issue of bookkeeping. Let's face it, we're strong-willed people and we want to be in control. But there is a clear distinction between being in control and being controlling. Now, the person that tells me that they know every little detail about their business, what they're telling me is that they own a very small business. Now, if that's your forte, that's fine. But just be aware that you're going to be destined to stay small and to be in charge of every little detail of your business. Now, I understand that when people start up, they need to do their own bookkeeping. I've actually had a 180 on this issue, because there was a long time where I actually refused to teach people how to do their own bookkeeping. But it dawned on me that when people start up a business, it's very important for them to know and understand the financial process. And that's really what this course is all about, too. Not so much to teach you how to do your own bookkeeping, although that's what you're going to be able to do. But more important is the fact that you will learn the financial process from the initial idea to start a business to that handshake to consummating a transaction, and how that transaction rolls all the way through your financial system onto your balance sheet and finally onto your tax return, and then take it a step further, how you could use that information to further your business by doing projections, forecasts, basically trying to predict what's going to happen in your business. That being said, I believe that there is a cutoff point where a business owner needs to start taking a step back from being involved in every little detail. And bookkeeping is a great place to start. And I understand that there's fear involved, the idea of a loss of control. But it really doesn't have to be like that. You know, the fact is that when I got into this business over 30 years ago, it was never like that. There was a clear distinction between what a business owner did, what the bookkeeper did, and what the accountant did. And the business owner never very rarely did their own bookkeeping. If they did their own bookkeeping, it was because they were a bookkeeper. What happened was Intuit brought in this program called QuickBooks, and they sold people on this myth that you could save money by doing your own books. So all of a sudden, we had millions of business owners trying to become bookkeepers. And that mentality hasn't really dissipated yet. I see that there is a turning of the guard, changing of the guard, if you will. Business owners are no longer so enamored with doing their own books. Because the fact of the matter is that you never save money by doing your own books. It's like me trying to save money by doing my own root canal. It may not be as physically painful, but the truth is that over time, it really stunts the growth of a business. A business owner should be focusing on what brings in the money. A successful entrepreneur understands that difference between being in control and being controlling. The biggest hidden cost in every business is that time expense, the cost of your time. So that being said, that's the control issue. And then we also have the never-ending privacy issue. You know, nobody wants to open up their closet drawers to a stranger. That's what I equate bookkeeping to. And tax returns. And that's why it's so hard to choose an accountant and a bookkeeper, because that, you know, and that's where the old adage comes in, that you have to know, like, and trust the person. Trust being basically the most important factor, because you could know somebody, you could like them, and you're more apt probably to give your bookkeeping away to somebody you don't know, because you don't want to reveal your private information. And I have a solution to that, and it's very simple. What you want to do is you want to keep your personal information out of your business. And the way you do that is the way that I showed you in chapter 4, which was to segregate your accounts. Try not to commingle your personal expenses with your business expenses. What happens is, if there is an audit, it opens up red flags. It opens up the doors to questions. We don't want that. We don't want to see that you bought jewelry out of your business for your wife's birthday. You want to keep your personal transactions out of there, because it's really nobody's business. And that's the truth. Nobody has to see what you spent on your wife's jewelry. And also, last but not least, by commingling your personal funds, it makes it a lot harder to account for your business. I can't tell you how many times I've handled clients and they felt like they weren't making money. The truth was that they had a lot of personal expenses going through the business, and when I did my accounting and I would show them, look, you're paying your mortgage, your wife's car out of the business, your kids' tuition. When we take that all out, the business is making a profit. It may not be making enough of a profit to sustain your lifestyle, but that's a whole separate issue. So let me make a note here. You know, it's not illegal to commingle your funds. It's definitely not illegal, especially in small businesses, and sometimes you can't get around that. You know, the fact of the matter is that small businesses usually operate on a shoestring, especially when you're starting out. But let me give you a scenario. If you're starting a business, take your money, make a deposit into the business, and loan that business money, instead of taking money out of your personal accounts to pay for your business expenses. You see, that's where people get into problems. It's a matter of commingling. Now, if you don't have your personal information in your business, the privacy issue isn't as large. It isn't a psychological roadblock to helping you grow the business. Because the truth is that, you know, the way I see it, once your business gets to be over 15, 20 transactions a month, you really got to start looking at having a professional doing your books. It's fine and dandy for you to keep those books for as long as you need to try to save money. But once you get up to a point where your time becomes more valuable in the revenue production area or the management area of your business, than it does spending time doing your bookkeeping. When you see what the actual cost of hiring a bookkeeper is compared to what your time is, you will come to the conclusion that, yeah, you know what, my time is much more valuable doing other things. And that's it for chapter 7. I hope you enjoyed this chapter as much as I have. I look forward to the next chapter, chapter 8. We're more than halfway through the course now, and I will see you again next time. And that wraps up another awesome episode of Bedrock Bookkeepers Online Academy. Joe DiChiara here, inviting you back to our site, bedrockbookkeeping.com. Check us out for the latest and greatest offers, discounts, updates and content, videos, new courses. Okay, again, bedrockbookkeeping.com. Joe DiChiara, over and out. Looking forward to seeing you at the next segment.